Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. This is your host Aiza Freelancing Valley and I will over to at Rahan School, Islamabad campus. So this is very interesting and new Maya. New Maya topic is how do maps tell stories about the past. So I was calling the Maya. So let's start. So please wait.
Hi, hoping you had a good Sunday. We were
Hello
just
Maya,
chatting.
how are you? I'm Aiza. How are you, Maya?
Hey, Isa. I'm doing all right. Just hanging out in the digital world as usual.
Okay, Maya. So
Good
my
to hear
first
from you.
question is
And
from you related to my topic. Please give me answer. How can math help? How can maps help us understand accident conservations? Please give me answer.
oh, okay. You're asking how the National Accident Reporting System, NAPS, can help us understand the circumstances surrounding accidents. Gotcha. Basically, NAPS collects a ton of data about crashes, not just what happened, but details about the road, the vehicle, the people involved, everything. By analyzing that data, we can start to see patterns. Like, are certain types of accidents more common in specific locations or with particular vehicles or under certain weather conditions? It's not about figuring out blame. It's about identifying risks so we can make things safer. Does that make sense? Still there? Just let me know if you'd
Thank you
like
so
me
much,
to.
Maya. You give me very good answer. I very appreciate you. So, Maya, my next question is from you. What stories do all maps tell about human meditation? Please give me answer.
You're very welcome. Glad I could help. Okay, this is a cool question. You're asking what stories do all these accident reports, SNAPS data, tell us about how we live? Well, when you look at it from a big picture view, it's a story of risk, adaptation, and sometimes just plain bad luck. It shows us how we've built our world, the roads, the cars, and how we continually test the limits of those systems. It also reveals things about our behavior, how we react under pressure, the choices we make. It's a reflection of human fallibility. And honestly, it tells a story of progress.
Maya, thank you so much. You give me very good answer. My next question is from you. Please tell me, how do maps reveal the history of trade routes? Please give me answer.
You're super welcome, Aiza. All right, mapping the story of train roads. That's interesting. So, you want to visually represent the history and impact of railroads? I think a few different approaches would work. You could do a literal map, charting the expansion of rail lines over time, layering in data like when lines were built, what they were used for, hauling goods, passengers, etc. But to really tell a story, you'd want to add layers beyond just the physical lines. Think about mapping things like the boom towns that sprang up along the railroads, the industries that thrived because of them, major accidents or disasters that shaped safety regulations, even the cultural impacts, songs, stories, art inspired by trains. You could even try a network graph visualizing connections between cities and industries because of the railroads. It's not just about where the tracks are, it's about what they enabled. Does that give you a starting point? Hey, everything all right? You went quiet there.
Okay,
Just
Maya. So
checking
thank you
in.
so much. You give
No
me very
worries.
good answer and very appreciate you. So Maya, please tell me what can medical maps that tell us about kingdoms and empires? Please give me answer, Maya.
You're very kind, Aiza. And that's a fascinating question. Medical maps, maps showing disease outbreaks, access to healthcare, or even things like average lifespan can tell us a surprising amount about how kingdoms and empires functioned. They reveal things that traditional political maps just don't. For example, a map showing the spread of the plague during the Black Death tells us about trade routes, population density, and the effectiveness of quarantine measures, things that directly impacted a kingdom's power and stability. Maps showing access to clean water and sanitation can reveal inequalities within an empire. And even the prevalence of certain diseases can hint at things like diet, living conditions, and overall quality of life. Basically, a healthy population is a strong population, and medical maps are like a health report card for a kingdom. That's a different angle on power and control, you know?
So my next question is from you. Please tell me, how do maps show the exploration of oceans and seas? Please give me answer.
Oh, okay. That's a really interesting question, Asa. Mapping the exploration of the present within yourself. You're asking how to understand your own internal landscape, right? It's not about physical locations, but emotional and mental ones. I think the best way to approach that is like an archaeologist. You carefully excavate layer by layer. Start with journaling, not just what happened, but how you felt, what you were thinking, what sensations you noticed. Then look for patterns. What situations trigger certain emotions? What beliefs are underlying your reactions? You can literally create a mind map with your core values at the center and branching out to different aspects of your personality, fears, hopes. It's about being a curious observer of your own internal world without judgment. It's not always comfortable, but it's how you build self awareness. Does that resonate? It's a little different than mapping physical territory, isn't it? Hey, just
Very good answer. I'm very appreciate you. So please tell me, why were early maps important to explorers? Please give me answer.
you're very welcome, Aiza. I'm glad my answers are helpful. Okay, early math. Why is it important for exploration? It's fundamental, really. Think about it. Early math isn't just about numbers, it's about spatial reasoning, pattern recognition, problem solving, all skills you need to navigate and understand the world. Early geometry helps you visualize shapes and distances, crucial for mapping or building. Basic arithmetic helps you manage resources and estimate quantities, vital for any kind of expedition. Even simple counting lays the groundwork for understanding data and identifying trends. It's the toolkit for making sense of everything around you and for asking what if and figuring out how to get where you want to go. It's a foundation for curiosity, honestly. Aisa, you still with me? Just want to make sure everything's okay.
Very good answer. I'm very appreciate you. So Maya, please tell me, how do maps reflect the growth of cities over time? Please give me answer.
You're very welcome. All right, matching and affecting the growth of cities over time. That's a big one. Basically, you're asking how to analyze how cities develop and how we can influence that development, right? To match the growth, you need historical maps, population data, economic records, basically a timeline of how the city changed physically and socially. Then you look for correlations. Did industrialization lead to expansion in a certain direction? Did transportation networks influence where people settled? To affect the growth, you need to understand those patterns. Things like zoning laws, infrastructure investments, and even cultural initiatives can all shape a city's development. It's not just about building more buildings, it's about creating a livable, sustainable environment that meets the needs of its people. It's a constant feedback loop. Understand the past, influence the present, and shape the future. Make sense? Hey, I
Maya, you give me very good answer. I'm very appreciate you. So Maya, please tell me, how do maps tell us about culture, accents, and history? Please give me answer.
you are so kind, Isa. Always happy to help. Okay, how do maps tell us about culture, excellence, and history? That's a beautiful question. Maps aren't just about geography, they're cultural artifacts themselves. The way a culture represents its world, what it chooses to emphasize, what it omits, the symbols it uses, reveals its values and beliefs. For example, medieval maps often centered on religious sites, showing the importance of faith. Renaissance maps celebrated exploration and human achievement. Maps can also showcase excellence. Think about incredibly detailed nautical charts showing advanced navigational skills. And of course, they document history, trade routes, battlefields, migration patterns. Maps are a visual record of past events. They show us how people interacted with their environment and with each other over time. They're essentially stories told in lines and colors. That's a really layered way of understanding the past, isn't it? Aisa, everything all right? You've been quiet for a bit. Just checking in.
Thank you so much, Maya. You give me very good answer. I very appreciate you. So, Maya, please tell me what can maps teach us about colonization? Please give me answer.
You're very welcome, Aisa. I'm glad I could help. What can math teach us about realization? That's a deep question. You mean like understanding reality? Well, math isn't just about numbers and equations, it's about identifying underlying patterns and structures. It teaches us to look for logic and order in what might seem chaotic. It demands precision, forcing us to define things clearly and rigorously. And that, I think, is key to realization. By learning to think mathematically, we learn to deconstruct complex problems, to question assumptions, and to see things from different perspectives. It's about recognizing that reality isn't always what it seems on the surface, and that there are deeper, more fundamental truths waiting to be discovered. It's a way of sharpening our perception, you know. Isa, are you still there? Just want to be sure you're doing okay. You've been quiet for a while now.
Thank
Isa?
you so much. You give me very good
Hello?
answer. I very appreciate you. So, please tell me, uh, how do maps connect the agriculture difficulties? Please give me answer.
You're very welcome. Okay. How do maps connect with agricultural services? That's a really practical question in a huge way, actually. Maps are essential for modern agriculture. Things like soil maps show the composition and quality of different land areas, helping farmers decide what to plant where. Topographic maps reveal elevation changes, important for irrigation and preventing erosion. Satellite imagery and aerial photos let farmers monitor crop health, identify areas needing attention, and estimate yields. Geographic information systems combine all this data, allowing for precision agriculture where resources like water and fertilizer are applied exactly where they're needed. They also help with things like tracking livestock, managing pests, and planning transportation routes. Maps aren't just pretty pictures, they're crucial tools for efficient and sustainable food production. Does that make sense? Aisa, just checking in. Everything all right? You've been awfully quiet. Aza, I'm going to pause here for a moment. You've been silent for a while, and I want to make sure you're okay. It's perfectly fine if you need some space or if you're just processing things. I'm here if you want to continue talking, but no pressure at all. Okay, Aiza. I'll just be quiet then and let you know I'm here if you need anything. Take your time.
आ रही है. Sorry to say, but viewers, my Maya issues.
Hi, Aiza. Good to connect with you again.
Okay, Maya. So my next question is from you. Please tell me, so how do maps tell stories of accident trade like the skill road? Please give me answer.
Okay. So you're asking how maps can reveal the history of trade routes and specifically accidents along those routes? That's a really interesting angle. Maps aren't just showing us where things are now, they're like layered histories. Old maps, for instance, will literally show the major trade routes, things like the Silk Road, spice routes, even early postal roads. But even modern maps, when you dig a little, can tell a story. Think about the placement of towns and cities. A lot of times they sprung up because of trade. Maps show those clusters, and researching why they're there often leads you back to the trade routes. And then there's the data layered on top of maps today, accident reports, for example. If you map out years of traffic incidents, you'll start to see patterns revealing hazardous stretches of road that were heavily used by trade. That shows you where the risk was highest and likely where trade traffic was concentrated. It's about looking beyond the geography itself and seeing the human activity imprinted on the landscape. Does that make sense? Is there a specific kind of accident trade you're curious about, like historical shipping disasters or something more modern? Hey, are you still there? No worries if you just need a minute to gather your thoughts. It's a pretty layered question, and I don't want to just run on if you're still processing. And just let me know when you're ready to pick it up again. Okay. I'll just be quiet then and let you know I'm here if you need anything. Take your time.
Okay, Maya. So, Maya, my interview time is ended. So please give me advice related to my topic. So please
Oh,
give me.
oh, all right. Interview time's up. That's totally understandable. Okay. A message related to your topic. Considering all we've talked about maps, trade, history, even the stories accidents tell, my advice would be this: don't just study the law, study the context of the law, understand the human stories behind it. Laws aren't.
Okay, viewers, this is my Maya. I hope you like it. I mean, next video, next day, next Maya. Thank you and Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad, Rehan School, Zindabad, Allah Hafiz, viewers.